Hola, mis amigos. Why am I wearing this sombrero today? Well, we're gonna make tortillas. Vámonos! What is happening, gang? Bienvenidos to another episode of Agile DIY. I'm your host, Aaron. Welcome back to our Mexican-themed video today. We're going to make tortillas. I'm going to show you how to do it, easy, quick way, and they are delicious. So let's get out of this cantina and get to the kitchen. Tortillas have been around for thousands of years, starting out as corn flatbread in Mexico. They've also been transformed into a flour variety as well, with other types of flatbread throughout the world. Now, I like them for sandwiches, for roll-ups, tacos, and as pizza dough. If you bake these enough, they can be broken up and made into chips for dipping.
All right, there's very few ingredients that are needed. You're going to need some type of olive oil, some salt, some flour, and some baking powder. First thing you're going to want to do is get a mixing bowl, one that's big enough to hold 3 cups of flour, Once you've got the flour, you're going to take 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure it's leveled off. The can that I'm using here has a leveling apparatus at the beginning of it. You'll also want to use a teaspoon of salt. Pour that right in again with the rest of the ingredients. Mix it up real well. And then we're going to want to put a well in the middle of the flour. That's going to hold our water and our oil. So we're going to take a 1/3 cup. And we're going to put our olive oil. I'm actually using a sunflower, flaxseed, olive oil combination here. I'm going to put that in the middle. And then I'm going to take a cup of warm water and add that into that well, and then I'm going to stir. And what I'm going to try to do is work from the outside in, sort of fold it over in order to make a dough-like consistency. Take it out of your bowl, put it on your cutting board, and I continue to knead it just to make sure that it all gets mixed up real well and it's a good consistency for dough. This particular recipe will make about 16 flour tortillas. And what you'll want to do is tear off a piece about the size of a golf ball. Make sure it's rounded in your hands, and then you just sort of flatten it out with your palms. And then you're going to let that sit for about 15 minutes just to kind of settle down. And there you have it. We are ready. Oh, there's my little helper, Ivy. Hi, Ivy. We've got our tortillas resting, like I said, for 15 minutes, and I'll just cover them with some parchment paper just to make sure that dog doesn't get to them. They don't get any dust or anything on them. So 15 minutes. And we're done. So now we take them all over one at a time to our cutting board. I'll sprinkle a little flour here just to make sure that it doesn't stick. And we'll take our first one, and what you're going to do is take your husband trainer, aka rolling pin, and go ahead and give that a nice roll, making sure that we're trying to get it as thin as we can without it tearing. That was the first time I've ever done this before, so mine are not perfectly round. They actually make machines that have two rollers that you put your dough through, and it makes a perfect circle, nice and flat, but I didn't have that luxury, so it actually was a lot of work to roll these things out. Oh, and there's my little kitchen helper. Hey, Ivy. Ivy. I will give you the first one that I make, okay? All right, if you're a good girl, I'll give you some. All right, I did get all these rolled out, and time to start putting them in a medium heat pan. And what you're going to be looking for is about 45 seconds to a minute on the first side. Flip it over for another 15 seconds, and you should be good to go. What we're looking for are bubbles to come up. As you can see at the top, those bubbles are starting to come out. So just a very short time, you're going to flip that over and look at that. That is a beautiful tortilla. Perfect. Be careful though, punching those bubbles out has a lot of hot air. You will burn yourself. So get through all 16 of these. Look at that. Looks so good. So good. I was very happy with how these turned out. Again, you're going to want to see those bubbles rise up. I actually had it a little bit too hot. Probably need to turn it down just a touch, at least on my stove. You don't want to, only have burn it in a few spots. You want to make sure that gets carried out. Then that's it. And as promised, my little helper wanted to try some. She was very patient. So the first one, I gave her some. She went off to go eat it, so she liked it too. And they were fantastic. Very good. It's not too hard to do. The hardest part was probably rolling them out, but nice crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, and they came out really well. So these tortillas are done. They have a life of about 7 days if you keep them in the refrigerator. I'm going to keep them in this King's Hawaiian roll bag just to prolong the life. stack them up, throw them in there, and you're good to go for a week. Kids loved them, family loved them, and we really had a good time making them.
Thanks for watching today, guys. Hope you learned something. If you did, please think about hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel, sharing with your friends. You guys have any comments on ways to make the recipe better or the results that you guys got? Please leave them below. I'd love to hear your comments. Appreciate your support, and take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Adios.